NFL fans are furious, supposedly. I think it's mostly conservatives and right-wingers on X who are furious, rather than necessarily NFL fans. They're furious over video. There were a few videos, but I think it was one in particular that went viral of a male cheerleader who was part of the 2025 cheerleading squad for the Minnesota Vikings. And this clip of a cheerleader named Blaze Chic went viral online, and he is one of two male cheerleaders on the Viking squad, apparently. And, you know, he's dancing. It seems like a very good cheerleader. He's dancing around like the women, I would say, which was what the controversy was, because I think, you know, male cheerleaders are pretty normal. I mean, you don't see them on the NFL fields, but in high school and college, they're totally normal. But they seem like they're usually more like lifting the girls up and throwing them around and doing things like that, rather than doing the same dancey, sexy moves that the female cheerleaders are doing. So I guess this is where the controversy lies.
I think that's where the controversy lies. And I know I've heard through multiple generations of like myself being a teenager and then being a mother and now seeing other people with high school kids. I know many unambiguously heterosexual male cheerleaders who get into cheerleading because they get to touch girls a lot. Getting to lift girls up by the waist. They've got girls' butts in their faces. They've got girls' chests in their faces. It's actually a pretty good gig for a young heterosexual guy who likes to touch women. And
anybody who's seen Bring It On would know that.
A very sanctioned way, right? And then this was different. This is a whole new market, is what it looked like to me. This is like very, I doubt that guy is straight just from the ways, like he's behaving in a way to attract male sexual attention.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are for sure gay, or they're very, very good at acting gay. But I was gonna, like, I mean, Bring It On, which is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I can't imagine that anyone has not. It's a classic. But there's scenes in that movie of the male cheerleaders, you know, holding the girls up and fingering them and things like that. You know, like you get to be around all these hot girls and touch bodies and throw them around and things like that. But these guys seem to be gay. I think, I mean, I don't really care. Like, I really don't care. Don't care. I'm not passionate about cheerleading. I, like you, think it's incredibly impressive. I think that these are incredible athletes. And I have respect for cheerleaders and what they do. But I mean, first of all, I'm not a football fan, so none of this impacts me in any way at all. I'm not like particularly offended by gay guys. This is like, there's so few gay males in cheerleading in the NFL in any case that I don't think it matters. I guess it does sort of strike me as, part of it is just, well, most of it is contextual, because we've seen all this DEI crap forced on us in these strange and inappropriate contexts, like Dylan Mulvaney selling Nike sports bras to women. And it's so egregious and offensive and stupid, because what woman would see a man in a sports bra and want to buy it?
But we're being gaslit. We're being told we have to view Dylan Mulvaney as a woman. Like that's the offense there. Where I thought these cheerleaders, maybe this is getting back to some sanity where little flaming gay boys can have some role models again, instead of just the forced transing of all the effeminate boys and the butch erasure. You know, maybe we could just get back to people being flaming gay men again.
Well, yeah, and most, like a majority of NFL fans might be straight males, but they're not all straight males. There's going to be
No.
gay male football fans and, of course, female football fans. So
Right.
why do the cheerleaders have to exclusively be for straight men? Like, okay, if NFL fans were 100% straight men, fine, whatever. It's not like I'm attached to objectification and sexualization for straight men either way. Like, it has to be there, but I understand that it's a tradition, and it's also entertaining to watch, and they're super talented, so whatever, it's fun. That's fine. But like, if there's a percentage of NFL fans who are gay men, which there have to be, and like, I'm sure there's a pretty reasonable percentage of female football fans, like, who aren't going to be offended. I'm not saying necessarily female football fans are going to be particularly into gay male cheerleaders more than they are into female cheerleaders. What difference does it make to women?
Yeah.
But they're not going to be offended by it. And if there's gays in the audience, then maybe they'll like that. So, oh, well, there can be one, like, or two, I guess. I think I actually read there's 12 out of the 32 NFL teams have male cheerleaders, although I've never seen them before, and I don't know if they're so flamboyantly gay or, dancing like the girls, as it were, or what their roles are or whatever. But it's not like this is the first time this has ever happened.
I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, I want to get back to, like, gays. Men can be flaming effeminate gay men and not have to be viewed as women.
Yes, and this is so the other controversy, besides the, conservatives and right wingers who are up in arms about this because they saw it, I think, in a similar way to what I was referencing earlier around, DEI being forced on us, and like men acting like women being forced on us, and so on and so forth, which is not what was happening. Was that among the gender criticals, there was this big debate, I think in large part because, this man who I really hate talking about because he's a narcissist and he just loves any form of attention, no matter what kind of attention, good, bad, stupid, whatever, being punched in the face. Billboard Chris Elston was, first of all, I don't think that Chris Elston believes in anything. I don't think he has an opinion or a belief or an ideology. I think he just says whatever he thinks will get him attention or a platform. That's why he's involved in this so-called gender critical movement, this movement against gender ideology, whatever terms you want to use to describe this that are not my terms. He just saw an opportunity for a platform and weaseled his way in, and it worked. I think, sorry to sound like a feminist, but I think because men in particular, but I think maybe people in general like to hear from men more than they like to hear from women. So, I think he's gotten way, way, way more attention from men who act like he's some genius when he's never said anything interesting ever. He's never, and I'm not saying any one person owns the idea that men aren't women or that children shouldn't be sterilized or mutilated. There's lots of us who have said these things and lots of us who agree that men can't become women and shouldn't be allowed into women's spaces, and that you shouldn't put kids on puberty blockers and hormones and then give them cross-sex surgeries. But he just doesn't have anything. He's never said anything interesting. He's never said anything original. He just took Posey Parker's billboard idea, the I Heart JK Rowling billboard that went up in Vancouver. So he paid for that. And I think he's just glomming on to whatever he can say that will get him some attention. And so in this case, he was complaining because he was saying that this guy in this viral clip, Blaze Chic, was dancing. I know, like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's his real name.
Yeah,
Chic, like
Blaze.
You need like a condom for a last name. And Blaze is spelled Blaize, so I'm not sure I buy it. But regardless, that he was dancing like a girl. And he said in response, so Colin Wright had said, like, I don't find it offensive for a male to be a cheerleader. This is just a gay guy being a cheerleader. He's not pretending to be a girl, whatever. And posted a poll asking, is it okay to be a male cheerleader? Yes, no. Billboard Chris responded and said, not if he's dancing like a girl and waving pom-poms. He can be there to support them and throw them and catch them, but not in an NFL dance squad.
Okay. That's the kind of attitude that leads little gay boys to think they're actually girls. If that dancing that way is dancing like a girl, that's how this whole insane gender transition madness starts, like those strict gender roles that people get locked into. Yeah.